on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Walker Medical Linen Services, delivering premium products, seamless service, and guaranteed cost savings to the medical industry. And Coventry Healthcare, your great local health insurance plan, proudly present The Border Patrol with Stephen St. John and Nate Bukaty.
Good morning, Kansas City. This is the Border Patrol live on Sports Radio 810 WHB and 38 The Spot. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening on this Thursday, December 5th, 2013. Some snow on the ground. A little bit of snow on the ground. More up north when I was driving in than out here. But still, a little bit cold weather to deal with after it was so nice earlier in the week, over 60. Mark Boerichter and Nick Leckie join us in studio. A real weird show so far. It's a very odd, very odd vibe on this show. So we'd like you to add to it, please. What have you guys are a little early listening?
I barely got to a 3.0 for a GPA, just for the record. We'll just get that out ahead of time.
Yeah, D is for diploma.
That's right.
If we could add 2 semesters together, I might be able to top what's going on here.
I can't wait for somebody to email us or call us about how they had the over 4.0 GPA.
Oh, yeah.
I like those high schools that had that grading scale.
The honors
Somehow
class.
you could get like better than a 4.0.
Yep.
That's absurd.
We had that at our high school. We had that, and I was not even close to being a part of that.
I took a couple of those classes, honors something. That way when I got a B, it counted as an A.
Yeah.
Or a C still counted as a B.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
A D was still a D, but as long as you got a C, it still was like a 3.0. You're like,
Yeah.
all right.
Somebody just sent me via Twitter
Yeah.
an interesting picture of Nate Bukaty saying goodbye to Chris Getz, and I've retweeted it.
Somehow I'm holding a snow cone.
Yeah,
in this.
you don't want to get any more in depth than that. I think that snow cone is
You serious?
a weird.
You know what
color.
that picture's the picture of me.
I don't know.
Bigger than your
What's
torso.
going on? With it. I don't understand that picture, but I've retweeted it. I'm going to try to get Jake to put it on 38 The Spot. Greg sends some great pictures in that he puts together, and I don't know what that is, but
Is there
I enjoy it.
There's like a Jaguars player
I don't know.
in the
I
background.
don't know what's going on there, man.
I know
It's good, though.
what the picture of me. I know what that was taken from.
Where?
When you and I did the pep rally, the playoff pep rally down at the P&L, was it 3 years ago now when the Chiefs made the playoffs?
It's on 38 The Spot now.
That was me on stage
people. I don't know
with
what this
you.
means.
They photoshopped it and they took the microphone out and put a snow cone in for some reason.
Yeah.
And I guess I'm waving goodbye to Getz, but Getz is on the other side of me.
That
so-
looks like a real snow cone.
I wish it was. It looks delicious.
What,
That's some wonderful
what flavor would that be, though?
Like a tangerine,
I don't know about that.
apricot,
That sucker only cost $25 too at the game too.
reasonably priced.
Oh, really?
Those ones at the games are good too because they're like frozen hard, so
Oh, yeah.
you can't get any of the ice off of them.
Your kids lose teeth in them and everything
Yeah.
else. Yeah.
Is that a Blaine Gabbert sighting, too?
Yeah,
I think that's what it is.
In the back.
Gotta be, right?
So, there's so many different
Yeah.
things about that picture that make it great.
And where's Chris Getz in like a Walmart parking lot or something?
I don't know.
It looks like his Facebook profile
It
pic or
does.
something.
Yeah, when he was like 18.
Police car in the
yeah.
background for some reason.
Oh, boy.
Just to give him some street cred in the locker room.
There's a lot going on in that picture.
So in recent weeks, I've shared some wonderful experiences watching the Chiefs, even though they've lost the last 2 games. 2 weeks ago, I was watching the Chiefs-Chargers game with Mark Boerichter, and I talk about these meltdowns that Phil has when Missouri loses or the Chiefs lose, and Mark Boerichter saw it up close. He was very upset after that Phillip Rivers touchdown pass, wasn't he?
He was very upset.
And see, it's not, and I shouldn't laugh because I'm his dad, but sometimes it makes me feel better. Say, wow, he's really upset. I go, okay. All right, Phil, now you need to stop crying. This is bad. But you know what? And you try to give him the pep talk and everything. And then Mark felt compelled. It was so bad you felt compelled to send me a text later on.
I did.
Because he took it hard, man.
He did, and when I talked to him before I left, too, he still was taking it hard. So I was like, And I think the worst part was Steve Robinson Pizza if the Chiefs won too. So he had his heart all set up, ready to go for pizza. And I was like, I hope he's still buying pizza.
I would have cried,
He got the
too.
pizza too. He got the pizza.
He promised pizza if they lose.
Wow.
He knows to cheer him up.
You wonder, like, you see these fast food commercials and you wonder who would buy this food just based on this commercial. He would. He wants it. So he kept seeing these commercials for the triple cheese
The
stuffed
stuffed crust pizza,
Oh,
you eat
yeah.
it backwards.
And that's just too much. I'd like to. love to have that. Go, you know what? The Chiefs win. We're getting that pizza. And so then he was upset. Not only
That's why he was upset.
Lost the game and lost the pizza, but he got the pizza anyway.
If
So we
you
made that
associate a food in sports, to me, that seems like a mismatch. You know, I mean, hey, if the Chiefs win, you'll eat. If they don't win, you're going hungry.
And we watched the game, the Denver game, Nick Leckie. Again, enjoying delicious turkey legs.
Yes.
And hoping the Chiefs would win, but another loss. Oh, that was rough as well, because that was a very, I think then there was a nervous energy in the crowd, because even when the Chiefs were up, you were waiting, okay, when's Peyton Manning going to come back, and will the Chiefs be able to hold them off? So let's just get into where this team is right now and what we can realistically expect from them moving forward. Mark, I'll start with you. You were there. You saw the Chargers game up close. Obviously, you watched the Chiefs and the Broncos. They're 9-3. They're heading to Washington. Just give me your overall view of where the Chiefs are and where they're headed.
Well, I think they're still headed to the playoffs. I think we can all agree on that. I think the one thing with it is, they don't control the destiny anymore in terms of seeding, basically, right? In terms of winning the AFC West. So, as a player, that goal is still in front of you, right? And it's still attainable depending on what happens to Denver down the stretch. I mean, we all know who they are. We don't think they're going to change really any as it goes. But you start focusing now on, okay, let's get out of this 3-game slide. We're going to play a Washington team this week that's not that great. You get back on track. You got 3 out of your last 4 games are on the road, which is tough as well. You got to go to Oakland and San Diego still. So, you got Indianapolis coming here too. So you're in the last quarter of the season. You always remember what you do in November, December, right, Lekkie? Type of piece. So you've got to get yourself back on track, get yourself to 10 wins this week, and make sure you're going to get yourself into the playoffs. And then you just got to get yourself ready to play every single week and get better and try to get back on track. Because if you're not going to win the division, you know you're going to make the playoffs, you know you're going to go on the road to play. That it is what it is, but you're in the playoffs, right? You want to be in. You want to be playing. Most importantly, you want to be playing well when you go into the playoffs. You don't want to be on any kind of slide. We're not playing that great going into the playoffs. I can speak to that. In 2003, we went 9-0, lost one, won a couple, and then I think we lost maybe 2 out of our last 3 or 2 out of our last 4. We weren't playing that great toward the end of the year. You had a bye, which was great to still get a bye and get healthy. And then, of course, we all know what happened here, right, with the shootout. But it's you've got if you've got some momentum going into the playoffs. And you've seen the last couple of years, it used to be if you're a wild card team, it was virtually impossible to win the Super Bowl. Just because you had to go on the road all the time. And you got the Pittsburgh Steelers from a few years ago and the Ravens. the Giants, the Ravens. It's a lot different now. If you can catch a break, and quite frankly, the Ravens are one idiotic play from the defensive back in Denver away from not even making the Super Bowl either. So, but the mentality in the locker room's got to be, first of all, end this slide. It's not necessarily a must-win game, but you got to, Vermillion say it all the time, and I've said it on our pregame show all the time when we talk about it. Keep losing, teams losing. You go out to Washington, you got to keep that team down and keep losing. Get back on track, and then see where the chips fall.
And I also think too that it's going to be a difficult game out in D.C. Playing the Redskins, but at the same time, they are a bad team right now. They're pretty banged up. They're looking for their identity.
3-9.
Yeah, they thought they're going to be a lot better than what their record states right now. But you can't discount a Mike Shanahan-led team. They're going to play a very good game, and they're going to have a great game plan. They're going to have rest. And I just think if you're a coach, like if I'm Andy Reid, I'm telling those guys in the locker room, just, hey, this is it. This is what we have in front of us is this week, and they do need to do something to snap this. You can say injuries and this and that, and that really has affected the Chiefs. They played in this last quarter like terribly as a team, whereas the defense was lights out and punishing. And now it's kind of like their code has been broken, and all these teams are jumping on that code. But at the same time, you got to look at your positives too. And we've seen Alex Smith emerge as a passer, and that's excited me. And what excited me about Alex Smith last week at home here in Arrowhead was his ability just to check through his progressions and get back to running the ball. Really, I really think that opened up the offense more than anything else, especially in the second half. Him just making his reads and running.
Now Nick, with the 2009 Saints that ended up winning the Super Bowl, started off 13-0, then lost 3 in a row, then won the final 3 games to kind of turn things back around. But the difference is they didn't have another team in their division that had a better record, so they didn't have to go in as a wild card. But kind of similar. You have that stretch of winning streak, and then you lose 3 in a row. How did things turn around for you guys?
Well, it was a relief. We lost on Thursday night versus the Cowboys, and we actually ended up losing our last 3 home games. But the Vikings also lost, so that's how we were able to clinch home field Week 16. And then Week 17 was kind of, that throwaway game that, just rest your starters and everyone kind of get healthy. I think if anything, you look at that, look at the Broncos when they were 13-0 and then they lost those last 3. I remember hearing, Shannon Sharp talk about how it's kind of like it's a relief. And it is a relief because when you're undefeated, it's like
it was a lot of pressure to stay there.
So much pressure.
Yeah.
It's when you lose, it's like thank you. You've released the pressure.
You'd almost rather lose 2 games early in the season, the first quarter be 2-2, and all of a sudden be sitting here now 9-3. 9-3 now because your mistakes are still magnified. But when you're 9-0 and you fall hard like they have, and then you fall hard the last 3 weeks and the last 2 weeks especially with really really close games that you had an opportunity to win still. I mean that's even. It's never a relief, I guess, totally to lose, but I know what Nick's saying with that. It's like, okay, now we don't have to talk about being undefeated anymore,
Clearly, they've got to figure some things out on defense and what's going wrong, and hopefully getting healthy whenever Houston comes back will make a big difference, too. But going back to your team, Mark, the thing I remember about that season was we started finding out while the team was still undefeated that this defense is going to be a problem. At some point, this is going to hurt this team. For the most part, this year, we were saying along with the offense is the problem, and that's going to come back to bite this team. What I feel like we have seen this year that we didn't see, like it seemed like back in 2003, the defense, if anything, just kept getting worse. Like it never showed any hope that, wow, this defense is going to finally get. This offense, I think you guys just touched on it, I think is showing that it's getting better now. Obviously they've got to get back to what they've been on defense, but does that give you guys any cause for optimism for the home stretch here that, hey, wait a second, that this offense actually is better now than what we thought earlier in the year?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, they've taken a giant step forward this, quote, third quarter of the season, the last 4 games offensively. And I feel bad for Alex Smith because people were on him early on, being real conservative or we're going to throw the ball down the field at all. And opened up against Denver and had some drops and then, plays pretty well against San Diego. And outside of the mistake he made in the end zone to start the game in the first drive, nobody's helping him out. I mean, he's putting the ball where it needs to be placed, and he can't do anything more than that, and they're not making those plays. But optimistically, this offense is starting to chug along. It seems like play calling wise, they're starting to get in more of a rhythm, especially the opening drives. I mean, a lot of that, a lot of times you have your first 15, and they're not necessarily the first exact 15 plays you're going to run, but kind of the first 15s you're going to go with based on down and distance. And they seem like they've done a tremendous job with that, and they've taken a big step forward. What's disappointing is how this defense is played, or how we perceive them to play. Watching the tape this week and watching the game over again. Their safety play has been horrible the last 3 weeks. I mean, and yes, some of the corners are getting burnt, but their safeties have been way out of position and biting on play action fakes and biting on underneath routes that they don't need to be biting on, which is not helping out those guys on the outside at all either.
They really have too, but then also you got to look at too. There's no pressure, so you can't give Peyton Manning pressure and then expect that the secondary to hold up, So it's definitely a team game in that regards, and I also see too. I'm enthused because it's like we have the defense is in place. We've seen that early in the season. Now the offense is in place. Special teams is always going to be there. We saw they had a big kick return. So I feel like if we can get everything on track, I think the Chiefs can make a pretty decent run here in the month of December, January, possibly February.
We've got Nick Leckie and Mark Boerichter in studio talking football. We'll take a break, come back, talk about the offensive line, talk about wide receivers dropping the football, all that and more right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB and 38 The Spot.
You're listening to the Border Patrol on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
The Griffins take a road trip.
Let's just have a nice family car ride like we always do.
Yeah, except for the time Dad hit that deer.
Yeah, looks like it's just a ding. There's no reason to get the insurance companies involved.
Well, I should still take down your information, though.
Really? Because, you could probably just buff that out.
I would really feel better if I got your information.
Next, Family Guy.
Watch tonight at 6 on 38 The Spot for comedy.
Introducing great value from Assurance Wireless, a lifeline assistance program.
With our free talk and text plan, eligible households in your area receive a free cell phone, 250 voice minutes, plus 250 free text each month.
Now that I have Assurance, I can talk and text with no worries.
And if you need more, our $30 unlimited talk, text, and web plan offers a free phone plus unlimited minutes, text, and web for just $30 a month. Our plans are the best value among major Lifeline programs. Each plan provides nationwide coverage and these calling features.
With Assurance, I can keep in touch at home or on the go.
You may qualify if you're on Medicaid, food stamps, or certain other public assistance programs. Call now to see if you qualify for the best calling plans ever from Assurance Wireless.
Call 1-800-833-8333 or visit AssuranceWireless.com. That's 1-800-833-8333. 1-800-833-8333. Call today.
Want a Samsung Galaxy Note 8? Of course you do. Get a Samsung Galaxy Note 8 when you upgrade to a qualifying Time Warner cable package. And you can turn your Galaxy Tab into a TV with Time Warner Cable's preloaded free TV app. So you can watch TV when you want, wherever you want. But this tablet offer ends soon. Call 1-855-1TWC for a variety of packages starting at $79.99 per month. And act now for free installation. Time Warner Cable. Enjoy it better.
From headlight to taillight and everything in between, Hyundai has heads turning. And backed by America's best warranty, it's no wonder Hyundai is #1 in customer loyalty. Make the holidays shine even brighter during Hyundai Holidays.
Get 0% APR for 72 months on all 2013 Elantras. Visit buyhyundai.com.
Call Browning Group right now at 777-7777.
I'm always on the lookout for a good deal. Like this. And this. And this. And these. And this. So when I found out about America's Best, I got really excited. You can get 2 pairs of glasses for $69.95 with a free eye exam. Designer frames and low prices? Now that's a good deal.
Call 1-800-2PAIR or visit americasbest.com to schedule an appointment today.
Apu welcomes you to Quickie Mart.
Thank you, sir. Come again.
Home with the squishy.
Whoa, that's good squishy.
Where there's low prices guaranteed.
Expired ham. No one will fall for...
Cheap meat.
The Simpsons.
Watch weeknights at 6:30 on 38 The Spot for comedy.
38 The Spot has just become more intense, more outrageous, more loud. Now, Kansas City's most dynamic team plays here. Your 2014 home for Sporting Kansas City is 38 The Spot.
Take the plunge. 38 The Spot.
You get him out in space, he's hard to get to. So he gets skedaddle pretty good. You know, I think he's good in either situation, whether he's taking off in the pocket and running vertical, or he gets out in space and is able to use his speed and ability to corner. The bottom line is you have to tackle him.
Welcome back to the Border Patrol on WHB and 38 The Spot. That was Andy Reid talking about defending Robert Griffin III this Sunday against the Redskins. Later on the show, we'll have Gary Barnett, our college football insider, at 8 o'clock to talk about Mizzou and Auburn and the rest of the big games, also Ohio State and Michigan State. Then we will have Will Carroll on the show, injury expert, to talk about the Chiefs' injuries. Adrian Healy calling the MLS match at 9:05, and we'll have some more SEC championship talk at 9:30. Also, Clay Travis will be on the show tomorrow. Right now, we have Nick Leckie and Mark Boerichter in studio. Nick Leckie, I mentioned we were going to talk about the offensive line. Yesterday, Brandon Albert did not practice. It is described as a hyperextended knee, a day-to-day situation. Don't know whether he will play on Sunday. Eric Fisher stepped in, who did not get the start. Donald Stevenson started, and we talked about that last week, how grade over Fisher. How do you think the offensive line played after Brandon Albert went out? Because moving forward, if Albert doesn't restart the Chiefs, that could be the starting tackles. Those could be the starting tackles next year.
It really could be. And you got to look at when Brandon Albert went out, right? I mean, they still flourished without him.
They did.
But that's also to an in-game adjustment, which your momentum still carries over from his presence still carries over because the Broncos didn't have time to prepare for the new line going in. So, you always get that time when, like, a new line comes in, they do really well, and then next week they get crushed because you actually have film on them, and you can actually prepare on how to attack that. So they had to stick with the Broncos did their old plan. So we'll see if that's the line this week. If as a head coach, I'd be confident. I really will be. I think they performed well, and Denver has some really good pass rushers, and so I would be happy if I was Alex Smith. I'd be comfortable too.
The other injuries that kept starters out of practice: Anthony Fasano with his concussion. The team says he's doing well. He hasn't been cleared to practice yet, and Andy Reid is unsure if he will play against Washington. And then also Justin Houston with the elbow injury. He is making progress, and he's going to shoot for playing at Washington. And we'll see. That would be obviously a huge return for the Chiefs. Justin Houston, are we finding out how valuable he was to this defense? Because I asked the question a couple of weeks ago. If you had to have one, you pick Tamba Hali or Justin Houston. Houston coming back, how big of an impact would that be for this defense?
I think it'd be huge. I mean, because now you got to account for two pass rushers, right, of Tamba and him on the outside. And obviously Tamba's been hobbled too, but, Justin Houston's underrated on how he plays the run too and sets the edge on those stretch plays. That's one thing that, and I heard you guys talking about this a couple weeks ago, and, well, if you have one or the other, who would you rather have, Tamba? Justin Houston to me is kind of the straw that's stirring the drink on that defense right now, and Tamba is still Tamba, and, there's the scouting terms of ascending and descending players, right? And Nick Leckie and I know all about the descending part pretty quick. But it's one of those things. But Houston's on that ascending side of things, right? And this year, he's really improved. Last year, obviously, he took a huge step forward. And this year, watching him, he's played the run really, really stout from that spot. And he's not just I'm going to put my hand down in the dirt on third down and second and long to go get the quarterback. I mean, he's playing the run. He looks lost in coverage. Okay, there's a couple games early in the year where they were dropping him back too much, and I was like, what are they doing? Get him going toward on the line of scrimmage, but the run, setting the edge on those stretch plays, he's a really underrated part of that defense, and losing him the last weeks, obviously with injuries and things like that, have been a huge piece. And as Nick was talking about, just on the offensive line side of things, when you got a guy that's out and is going to be out, and you don't have to account for him near as much pass protection, it completely changes what you're going to do offensively. You can be much more wide open. You can attack the edges where that individual was, previously, because he's not going to be in the game. So they need to get him back. But most importantly, they don't need at this point, they need him healthy for the stretch run, right?
Yeah.
And I know we're entering the stretch run, but if he doesn't play this week in Washington, that's okay to me. If he's going to be better the following week, from a health perspective. If he's already there health-wise and it's not going to make a difference, type of thing, and he's going to put a brace on that elbow and because of the dislocation and all that kind of stuff, then great. Then we need him out there this week, But if it's going to take another week, I would much rather have him, and even as a player, go, hey. And it's tough because guys want to play, though, too, right? That's the ultimate piece with it. But make the right decision with it medically, what's best for the football team long term.
Talking to the players out at Arrowhead yesterday, I would be very surprised if he plays. They were already saying, well, it's going to be tough being without him for a couple, 3 weeks. But, we know we're going to get him back. And I'm not – maybe they don't know anything. Maybe they were just talking. But a lot of times when you hear players kind of talk that way, you know that they know already. And so I would be surprised. And I agree with you. You got to get him healthy. On the flip side, Nick, when you were talking about what the Chiefs' offensive line has going here, if Albert is out, Orakpo looked really good last week against the New York Giants. And that scares me a little bit, having Fisher back out there and Stevenson. Like you said, Stevenson's played better. But my question for you about Fisher is, he had the shoulder injury and was out. We think he was battling some injuries maybe before he sat out. Is it possible, maybe I'm just hoping here, but is it possible that having that time out allowed him to get a little healthier and stronger and that he can be better than what he was before, he sat out that week?
I wouldn't say better than what he was. He's going to come back and he's going to be fully healthy for sure. Anytime you get the time off, it's going to help heal your body, and even a few extra days. But I mean, he had a week or so to heal. So I do think he's going to come better. And I almost feel like you have to put a disclaimer on that game last week because Washington was at home. They did play the Giants, but the Giants O-line is so patchwork.
Right.
I mean, and Will Beatty, I believe, the left tackle, has played some of the worst football, this year.
Right.
And that whole O-line is just, they're not good. They made Barry Cofield, who's good, but they made him look like an all-pro guy.
Yeah.
And, they made Rakpo look really good. And both those guys have been quiet under this Haslett-led defense over there in Washington. So yeah, they're good, but they're not as great as advertised versus the Giants.
That's a good point.
Mark Borichter, drops by the wide receivers were just huge on Sunday against the Denver Broncos. But we saw Junior Hemingway with a big touchdown catch, and even though he did have a drop, A.J. Jenkins had a really nice catch on 3rd and 14 out of the end zone and showed some flashes. Donnie Avery showed some flashes of something else that I cannot say on the air.
Stephen would have, if he could have kept Donnie Avery from eating after the game.
No stuff.
No pizza for you.
For you.
So, how do you overcome that? I don't even know what you could possibly do. But would you like to see more from A.J. Jenkins and Junior Hemingway at this point?
I don't know so much from A.J. Jenkins. I want to see more of Junior Hemingway.
All right.
I was pounding on the table for it. I was watching the game at home after getting back from vacation for Thanksgiving, and I was tweeting out, put him in the game more. Like, I realized he caught a touchdown pass and he was open and, things like that. But, the guy made 3 special teams tackles in the game on Sunday also.
He's a beast on special teams.
He's a beast on special teams.
Hungry.
And yes, and he's earned the right now, I think. He's got 5 catches this year and 2 touchdowns. I can relate to that. I can.
That's me.
That's exactly it. I was like, this
Incredibly efficient.
Yes, exactly.
You got big tears in your eyes when you're watching them.
Incredibly efficient, though. That's the thing. I'm like, he deserves more of a shot in offense. And when your other starting wide receiver and Donnie Avery has dropped as many balls as he had, and that's who he's always been, though, too. That's the other thing that I don't want people to realize, like, all of a sudden he's just having a bad year. He led the league in drops, like, the last 2 or 3 years. Now, he also has made some dynamic plays, from his time in St. Louis and things like that. But, Junior Hemingway's got to get on the field more. I mean, he's earned the right now at this point, especially when you look at the drops that they've had. He deserves more of an opportunity, more snaps. Now, A.J. Jenkins had a big drop, one they should have caught. He made a play third down, but he didn't catch that ball cleanly, though, either when he went up with it. And I'm not trying to rag on that catch. It was a huge play for him, big-time play. But he's come on the last couple of weeks, and you talk about, you and I watched the game in San Diego, right? The San Diego game, and they threw him the ball. We're like, oh, A.J. Jenkins,
Yeah.
A.J. We're like going nuts.
A wild celebration when he caught the ball.
He was there. And so, I feel like this week, I want to be a Jugs, salesman this week because,
you gotta qualify what that is.
A lot of people know what that is, The Jugs machine, just like a pitching machine in baseball, right? The 2 white tires spin, you put the ball through it and shoot. Because I just sold like 8 of them to the Chiefs in the last couple of weeks. It feels like, and I feel like they should have, like you go back to the movie The Program in Darnell, when they give them the football and they have them walk around campus.
That was awesome.
I feel like they should give everybody in the Chiefs, facility of football and just throw them at the guys as they're walking by, to make sure they're catching. I don't know what it is. You know what? You go through a period of the yips. And I heard you talk about the pregame show when I was driving home. It can be contagious. It's like baseball, and you get the yips, and and that sort of thing. And you go through stretches of it where a couple weeks in practice, you're catching everything. You can throw one hand up and the ball's sticking to you, type of thing. And all of a sudden, it could hit you right in the hands and right in that spot, right between the 8 and the 5, and all of a sudden it's on the ground again. But it's been a perpetual problem for them all year long. And when you're getting to this point in the season, they've worked Niall Davis in more the last couple of weeks, right, in the offense. They're starting to work A.J. Jenkins into the offense more. Junior Hemingway, we saw more this past week than we have all season, basically, outside of earlier in the year. Give more opportunities. This is a perfect week against Washington, and he's earned the right to get more snaps based on how he played. If I watched the tape, he was a beast in the run game as well, blocking wise, and just doing the things he needed to do, and making plays on special teams. That's how you earn more playing time, and I think he deserves it at this point.
Yeah, I really agree too, and I think with this offense needs too, just a shot in the arms. Young, hungry receivers.
Yes.
I feel like the receivers now, I'm a big fan of all these guys, but at the same time, I feel like they're like fat cats. I feel like they're content. And you need the young guy who's trying to make the team, who's doing everything he can to, like special teams tackles, blocking on run plays. And I feel like the Chiefs need that just to carry the momentum right now.
You know what? You saw that with all the tackles that Hemingway made. He's showing that I'll do whatever I can to play. And then that catch by Jenkins, was it 3rd and 17 or 4th and 17?
I think 3rd and 14 out of the end zone, I believe.
Yeah, well, I was close. But on that conversion, it was like in his mind, I'm going to do whatever I possibly can to catch this football, and I'm not going to drop it, And it just seemed like some of those drops, they were tough catches, but it almost like the commitment wasn't there to make sure I'm going to do whatever I can to hold on to this ball.
And there was one that Donnie Avery had that I know that Nance was like, oh, another drop by Avery, and it was kind of a tough catch, but it hit his hands. He should have made the play, but the one where he was falling down on the sideline that hit him right in the breadbasket a little bit. Those are ones in this league you've got to make those plays. And the other thing is, what sets receivers apart is can you make the contested catch? Where you're, and we all know that this team hasn't got great separation from the receivers and defensive backs all year long. When you're covered and you can make the catch, that's when you're a good NFL receiver. When you can make the catch in traffic.
We've got Nick Lecky and Mark Bowrichter in studio. Back after this on WHB and 38 The Spot.
You're listening to the Border Patrol on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Are you ready? It's time for today's Jocelyn's Trivia Blitz on 38 The Spot.
What K-State player finished second in Heisman voting in 1998?
Jocelyn Jewelry, the jewelry you'll recommend to your friends and family. 435 in Antioch. Go north 1 mile. You can't miss us. 95th Antioch.
Think you figured it out? I'll be right back with the answer.
If you're turning 65 or changing Medicare supplement plans, here's some breaking news. Transamerica Life Insurance Company is now offering Medicare supplement insurance for individuals in your state. Previously only available as group coverage, now you too can enjoy great service and coverage, just like thousands of customers have for many years through Transamerica, a trusted provider of Medicare supplement insurance. A Medicare supplement insurance plan from Transamerica helps pay for what Medicare doesn't cover. It could save you hundreds, even thousands of dollars in out-of-pocket costs. Transamerica offers plans that are competitively priced, and those rates will never increase due to age or health. You can choose the doctors, specialists, and hospitals that accept Medicare without referrals. And many plans have zero copayments. Best of all, you'll enjoy guaranteed coverage for life. Understanding Medicare supplement insurance can be overwhelming. At Transamerica, we want you to feel knowledgeable about your choices and confident about your decisions. Our experienced agents will explain your options and provide trusted guidance. Even if you already have a plan in mind, take a moment to call us, and we'll give you an expert second opinion absolutely free. So if you're turning 65 or looking to change Medicare supplement coverage, don't wait. Call Transamerica and find out more today. Call to speak to an agent and get a free rate quote. We'll also send you a copy of our guide to Medicare supplement insurance absolutely free. Call us today.
Call 1-888-433-9096 for your free copy of Transamerica's Guide to Medicare Supplement Insurance. That number again is 1-888-433-9096. And remember to ask for your free rate quote. Call 1-888-433-9096 today.
Together, we make the first night of football every week, which means we make the first.
Go, Pat, go!
And the first. The first. And of course, the first.
Touchdown!
Together, we make the first night of football every week. Together, we make football.
On the lookout for a good deal. Like this. And this. And this. And these. I got really excited. You can get 2 pairs of glasses for $69.95 with a free eye exam. Designer frames and low prices? Now that's a good deal.
Call 1-800-2PAIR or visit americasbest.com to schedule an appointment today.
Your time's up. Here's the answer to today's Jocelyn's Trivia Blitz.
What K-State player finished second in Heisman voting in 1998? It was quarterback Michael Bishop behind Texas running back Ricky Williams.
Jocelyn Jewelry, the jewelry you'll recommend to your friends and family. 435 in Antioch. Go north 1 mile. You can't miss us. 95th in Antioch.
Catch another Jocelyn's Trivia Blitz every week morning on 38 The Spot.
Good morning, Kansas City. I'm Aaron Swartz with your bottom of the hour update. Chiefs back at practice yesterday after taking Tuesday off. 3 key injured players did not practice. Brandon Albert, Anthony Fasano, and Justin Houston all sat out. Andy Reid also said that Jeff Schwartz will continue to start at right tackle for the once injured John Asamoah. Chiefs at Redskins Sunday at noon. Mizzou and K-State both in action tonight on the hardwood. Mizzou tips at 6 on ESPN2 as West Virginia travels to Columbia. K-State Nick Leckie will follow that up at 8. As Ole Miss comes to Bramlage Coliseum, you can hear it right here on Sports Radio 10 WHB. Watch it on ESPN2. UMKC losers last night at Louisville 90-62. They'll host Youngstown State Saturday at noon. And Thursday night football tonight on 102.9 FM as Houston travels to Jacksonville. Everybody's been looking forward to that game all year. Coming up next, Mark Bowrichter, Nick Leckie, Steven John, Nate Bukaty live on Sports Radio 10 WHB and 38 Spot.
For me, it hasn't been. You have to have the proper amount of poise, keep your composure, and just to have the right amount of resolve to handle all this stuff. And it's been unfortunate that other people around, the organization haven't been able to focus on football.
That is RG3, Robert Griffin III.
Is he calling out his teammates?
Talking about distractions. Yeah, it's unfortunate that not everyone has been able to avoid the distractions. Play that clip again.
Golly.
I'm trying to figure out.
You're the quarterback and you're trying to call out people in the media.
Listen to RG3. Trying to decipher what he's saying right here.
No, I mean, for me, it hasn't been. You have to have the proper amount of poise, keep your composure, and just have the right amount of resolve to handle all this stuff. And it's been unfortunate that other people around, the organization haven't been able to focus on football.
RG me.
Yeah, really. That's
no.
Good grief. That's like a subtweet.
So who's he talking about?
I don't know. He could be talking about front office people. He could be talking about players.
He also called out both Kyle Shanahan and his head coach a couple weeks ago in the game plan.
It's awesome. I would never do that. He's there, so he don't care.
Yeah, I just this whole season for them, everything. I mean, you could sense it going into the year when he wanted to play and they weren't ready to play him, and all this other stuff. And he doesn't look healthy to me at all. Hasn't all season long. I understand that he wants to play and things like that, but it seems like his relationship with Mike Shanahan is really fractured. I mean, it's difficult. And I mean, Mike gave up like 3 draft picks and 2 first rounders to get you, man. Like, you got to fix that somehow.
I'll admit, so right now I'm looking really wrong on a couple of evaluations I had on some quarterbacks. I've been really right on some, but I did not like Cam Newton because I thought the character issues were going to be his downfall because I didn't like the way he handled adversity. I thought he was all about himself. I thought he pouted on the sideline when the team was struggling. His body language was horrible. He wasn't a leader. I thought the exact opposite about RG3. I mean, I knew he was a physical freak because I've been on the sideline and watched the guy unbelievably fast, cannon for an arm, and a sharp kid, seemed to do and say all the right things, and when he went to the combine, all the interviews and everything, I thought this guy is a leader. This guy, and it seems like those 2 guys have just gone in complete opposite directions through the course of this season.
They really have.
They have big time. But Cam, I was going to say, Cam struggled, his rookie. What's this 3rd year now?
3rd year.
Yeah.
And so maybe RG will turn it back around at some point. But,
right, but I think with Cam, he's, winning cures a lot of that too.
Yeah.
Last year, everybody's on RG3 train of wow, look at what this kid's doing and look at his leadership skills. And I mean, true leaders, you understand, like once you go through adversity, right, depending on how you lead, there's obviously more vocal leaders, leadership aspect of things, and you're the starting quarterback, so there's already a leadership expectation put on you. But when you're in a 3-9 season like they are right now, and you're calling out people in your organization and your own teammates in a subtle way, I mean,
you don't do that.
You just don't do it, and you can tell. Truly, and Kim's body language, I agree with you. His body language the first couple of years when things weren't going well, and part of that came from his hype. Is all of a sudden at Auburn that senior year of his, right, with winning the Heisman and things like that. Everything went well for him, and then he got into the NFL and realized that there's a lot of pretty darn good players on the other side of football as well, right? It's more difficult than what he was doing at Auburn, but he's really matured, and I think Ron Rivera and that coaching staff has done a great job with him down there in terms of molding him into to kind of lead in the right direction. And he's also got Steve Smith out there that can take a lot of deflection away from him. He can just let Steve Smith go, right, and mouth off all he wants, and Cam can kind of hide in the weeds a little bit.
Who has really great body language when they're losing? Like, I mean, everyone looks bad when they're losing. Like, everyone looks great when they're winning. It's about wins and losses.
So like Derek Anderson, right? Was it Derek Anderson when he was playing with the Cardinals a couple years ago, and the offensive lineman chucked it up a little bit or something?
It was Cobb. Yeah, it was Derek Anderson. Yeah, I remember I was still in Arizona at the time, and he was laughing with Deuce Latouille. And then the reporters asked him, and he got all sensitive, and he was like, don't worry about what the crap I'm talking about, on the sidelines and stuff. But who's got the worst composure ever is Eli Manning. Really, they could be up 100-0. He just looking like someone killed his dog.
His facial expressions always look terrible.
They are the worst.
I mean, the Manning face it's pretty bad. Is a bad look. In general.
I like that face.
I like that Sunday night one where Peyton Manning like that.
This is this will shock you, but I'm gonna use Missouri here to talk about Chiefs.
Oh boy, here we go.
It only took how long? 39 minutes, 40 minutes.
Hey Gary, I'm going. I'll see you later.
on Saturday against Manziel was banged up. Okay, RG3's banged up. They didn't do anything dirty. I mean, they hit that kid over and over and over again, and he'd go to the he'd go to the sideline, and they'd be looking at him around him. He went to the at halftime. They taped both ankles up so you wouldn't know which ankle was bothering him, and they hit him over and over again. I feel like that's what the Chiefs have to do with RG3. Don't do anything dirty, but I mean, keep hitting him. And Andy Reid said it too, because he's not right, and keep him not right. Keep hitting him and be physical with him, right?
Oh, absolutely. And this is a different story than a couple weeks ago when the Chiefs played the Broncos and Peyton had the sprained ankle, and that was the whole story around it, right? I mean, RG3 is not what he was a year ago. We can all agree on that. He takes way too many hits. He's going to – the thing with him, he's going to expose himself to hits. And one thing this Chiefs defense has done well this year is fly around and hit guys. And if he gets out in the flat, and obviously they're not going to do anything dirty to him, but, I mean – he can only take so much punishment before it starts wearing on us. When you go back to the Mizzou thing with Manziel, that just wears on you physically if you get hit all the time like that. And that's a huge part of your game of running the football and getting out there. You're going to think, I don't know if he's going to think twice about it or not, because he still hasn't learned how to really protect the body and get down. And
the weird thing
that's one thing about Alex Smith I was going to say too is Alex Smith is really, really good at from time to time when you watch him get out there. There's times when he got up, he did it in the Denver game. He got out down the sideline, on the left-hand side. I think it was the first drive. I was like, he got the first down. He's going to slide, and all of a sudden everybody's going to run out of bounds. And he picks his spots and when he needs to go and when he needs to go ahead and slide and be smart. RG3 it's like he sees guys and he's like a magnet to him in terms of running into him sometimes.
It's like I'm a fullback. Like I want to hit. He's like never allowed to hit ever. In high school, college, or wherever. She's like I want to hit now, and that's what RG3 is. Alex Smith is like, I see someone. Okay. going to, extract the most amount of yards. And
speaking of the Redskins, there was a guy, John Riggins was. I remember talking with him. I'm going to bring it to KU. But Riggins was this big, powerful running back, and I asked him about a couple years ago. I talked to him, and I asked him about all the punishment he took. He said, "You know what? I didn't hit that hard." He said people thought because I was a big running back. He goes, but half the art was learning how to glance off guys, and how to when a guy's about to hit me, you just adjust your body by a couple inches here or there, and it becomes a glancing blow instead of a head-on blow. And I think I was really good at that, so I actually feel great. I'm not a beat-up guy. It seems like Griffin is the opposite of that. Even when he tries to get out of bounds, like I was watching the Giants game, he gets hit when he runs out of bounds.
Yeah.
Like, he slips on the. He can't find. Did you see that play where he slipped into the wall?
The far edge, near the stands. Yeah, and the quarterback sneak too. He got blasted.
Yeah, like even when he tries to go out of bounds, it doesn't look right. You know,
It's like the guy holding the big microphone, like knocks him over. I mean, it seems like every day. He's like a pinball. You know? And the first down guys are always the first thing they teach us to get out of the way. It's like those guys are throwing the sticks at him, throwing the sticks at him.
We're going to take
the Jaws American Gladiators.
When we come back, Nick Leckie and Mark Bullrichter will involve Kansas State and Hastings in the conversation.
I will, yes.
Back after this on WHB and 38 The Spot.
You're listening to the Border Patrol on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
You needed an expert witness. Well, witness your expert. Doug's Dan Thorne. He's like someone you can trust. Like Doug. He's real. He's an everyman. Walrus Doug. In contempt.
This is real life, not law and order.
Wasn't at me, but whatever. Next, King of Queens. I always wanted to have a lawyer whisper something in my ear. I don't recall.
Watch today's 5 on 38 The Spot for comedy.
Sell your house today. We're the We Buy Ugly Houses people. We buy houses in as-is condition. Foreclosure, inheritance, whatever your home hassle is. Don't make another house payment. Get your cash fast. We Buy Ugly Houses, 913-583-1199.
Now that I have Assurance, I can talk and text with no worries.
Introducing Free Talk and Text from Assurance Wireless in your area. It's the best value in calling plans among major Lifeline assistance programs. Assurance Wireless, a Lifeline assistance program, offers eligible households free phone, 250 free voice minutes, and 250 free texts each month. You'll get nationwide coverage in these calling features. You may qualify if you're on Medicaid, food stamps, or certain other public assistance programs.
Visit AssuranceWireless.com or call 1-800-833-8333.
What can you get for $14.99? 3 gallons of gas. Freedom from your overpriced DSL service. Introducing Time Warner Cable's new everyday low-price internet. All the speed you need at an affordable price. And if you act now, you get free installation of our everyday low-price internet. It's Time Warner Cable's all-new everyday low-price internet. Now with free installation. Call 1-855-TWC before this free installation offer ends. Time Warner Cable. Enjoy better.
Always on the lookout for a good deal. Like this. And this. And this. And these. And this. So when I found out about America's Best, I got really excited. You can get 2 pairs of glasses for $69.95 with a free eye exam. Designer frames and low prices? Now that's a good deal.
Call 1-800-2PAIR or visit americasbest.com to schedule an appointment today.
Kansas City's Mazda Giants are back at
Premier Mazda.
And Overland Park Mazda.
$3,000 off every 2014 Mazda 3, Mazda 6, and Mazda CX-5.
Yes, you heard that right. $1,000 off. You won't find this anywhere else.
Own a Mazda, get another $500 off.
Military, get another $500 off.
Over 500 in stock.
A huge selection you won't find anywhere else.
Premier Mazda.
And Overland Park Mazda. You buy a Mazda anywhere else, you pay too much.
I'm 38 The Spot's Crystal Claus. If you like what I brought you last year, you're going to love what's on the way.
This is so good. It just has to be fattening.
The comedies you love.
Funnier than a good old bonk on the head. Go!
This is the moneymaker. We shouldn't be fighting. It's Christmas.
The teams that make their season bright. I'm bringing it all to you, only on 38 The Spot for the holidays.
How to be an American dad and the ultimate testament to my greatness. Oh, keep your sense of humor.
Hey, check it out. I just got that kid to Mickey Mouse here, that guy.
American Dad.
Watch weeknights at midnight on 38 The Spot.
Don't make another house payment. Sell your house today. We're Homevestors. We buy houses in any condition. Whatever your home hassle is, I can help. Call me by Thursday and I'll give you an extra $1,000. We're the We Buy Ugly House people. 913-583-1199.
Homer brings a lobster home for dinner.
Pinchy, I made you some risotto.
And decides to keep him as a pet.
You're going to be a free-range duck.
in.
The Simpsons.
Watch tonight at 6:30 on 38 The Spot.
Is Kansas City's premier Mazda dealer. Winter is coming, and it's time for that Premier Vehicle Winter Maintenance Inspection. Bring your vehicle to Premier Mazda's Service Department today. A Premier Service Department unlike any other. Stop by today, just east of 135th and State Line on Highway 150, or visit them online at PremierMazdaKC.com. And now, back to the Border Patrol.
Welcome back to the Border Patrol on Sports Radio 810 WHB 38 Spot. Do we have Gary Lezak? He's locked in. Before we go to him, the burning question that everyone has been waiting for you to answer: who wins the SEC championship game between Missouri and Auburn? First, Nick Leckie, then Mark Bowrichter.
I just want to see Missouri because I just want to see everything burn. Mizzou.
What?
You're like burn in what way? Like you want to see the SEC burn down? You want to see?
I want to see people's heads explode on Twitter.
Oh yeah.
When it's all of a sudden that Auburn is going to play. Auburn should play a national championship game before you play in your SEC championship game. They are totally overlooking Missouri.
That's why they're going to lose.
You want me to run wild in the streets of Atlanta?
That too.
Because you know that is likely to happen.
Yes. I want you to have a Mr. Bojangles chicken sandwich in your hands and just running.
Varsity dog.
Yeah.
Varsity dog.
Yeah, write down some suggestions for me. Mark Bowrichter, who wins the SEC championship game?
And I'm not just saying that because you're sitting across from me, Steven. I'm not.
Because there's your football acumen.
Look, before the year started, Mizzou had a ton of injuries last year. We all know the whole story of that. But to come back this year and have the year that they've had, and losing James Franklin for a few games and Matty Mock playing the way he has, they deserve it. It's one of those things that they've had that kind of season. I don't call it a miracle season by any means, but because they've earned it. They've earned it, and then Auburn's AD going on and saying that would be a disservice to the nation if a one-win SEC team didn't get to play in the national championship game. Well, you better beat Missouri first, man, because you've had two miracle finishes to get to the SEC championship game. You better take care of business.
Look, they had a game last week where they were spreading ashes on the field of dead people.
Oh, boy.
And now they're looking ahead to the game after this. So they're looking back and ahead all at the same time, and they're not focusing on Missouri.
Lezak joins us, and you guys both have the Chiefs winning against Washington.
Yes.
Okay, Gary Lezak, ice, baby, snow on the ground. What's going on?
Missouri wins double digits.
Whoa!
Double digits.
Stand down, Gary Lezak.
Okay, yeah, I can just see you running around. You won't even be running around aimlessly.
That's right.
There's always going to have to stop you. You got to be careful. Don't bump into anybody, all right?
Okay, what's higher? What's higher than, Gary, Missouri's margin of victory or the temperature at kickoff of the sporting game?
Oh. I would say it's going to be close. Could be 18 at kickoff, and Missouri's going to win 31-13, so about the same.
31-13.
Wow. Come on, Missouri's defense so good. Missouri's really the best team in the nation. I watched them lose that game. Unbelievable. I don't even know how they lost that game. But anyway, it's okay. That's exciting. Did you wake up to some snow this morning?
Yes.
A little bit.
Mark and Nick, did you get in there fine?
Yes, sir.
I did. Yes, I got in there fine.
There you go. Well, we had a few snow showers. When it gets cold, it's easy to snow when it's cold. All you need is a little bit of moisture. And last night about 1 o'clock in the morning, we had these snow showers blow through here. So when you walk outside, you're like, what happened? It snowed. Well, we had a few snow showers. And between Liberty, Missouri, and downtown Kansas City, these snow showers accumulated. It probably snowed very hard. I didn't get but even 15, 20 minutes is all it took to get the ground all white. So there's a few slick spots out there. Be careful. The next chance of snow is on Sunday. I talked to Jack Carey about it. I said, he's all mad at me. He asked me exactly how much is going to fall, exactly how much are the Chiefs going to win by. I said, I say it's going to snow. You say the Chiefs are going to win. So there you go. We're both predicting the future. Now you want to know exactly how much. Okay, so what's exactly the score of the Chiefs game? I thought it was a good analogy. He got mad at me, but
very good, Gary.
And he's Mizzou guy too.
Get lost.
Even
yeah,
better.
I think he should be in a really good mood.
Strange.
It does happen at times. Jack Carey sometimes is in a really good mood. Sometimes he is. Anyway, snow on Sunday. New data going in. We'll go over all the details on 41 Action News. We'll have some special graphics all prepared. We'll predict the future and get to you the exact amounts that are going to fall. It doesn't look like a big storm, but there could be some travel problems Sunday morning. So we'll talk about that in the next couple of days. After Sporting KC, the Chiefs and Mizzou all come home with victories. So we can have happy Victory Monday. All right now it is cold. It's 18 to 17 degrees. Wind chill factor near zero. Bundle up, and we'll keep you warm. I'm meteorologist Gary Lezak. Here's Ryan Wiebe.
All right, Gary. With low rates back on the board, could you be saving more money every month? Give my team a call at 816-778-7000 or go to firstmortgagekc.com and fill out a full online application.
We will wrap up the television portion of the show after this on WHB and 38 The Spot.
You're listening to the Border Patrol. The Border Patrol. On Sports Radio 810 WHB.
On the next How I Met Your Mother, an old thing is ruining Barney's reputation.
Why are you trying to ruin my life?
Well, you slept with me and then you never called me again.
As far as I'm concerned, if I leave you safe on dry land with adequate transportation home, you got nothing to complain about.
Britney Spears guest stars.
Are you as turned on as I am?
Probably not quite as much.
On the next...
I'm sorry I yelled out Ted.
I'm sorry I yelled out Abby.
I am Abby.
How I Met Your Mother.
Watch tonight at 10 on 38 The Spot.
Introducing great value from Assurance Wireless, a lifeline assistance program. With our free talk and text plan, eligible households in your area receive a free cell phone, 250 free voice minutes, plus 250 free text each month.
Now that I have Assurance, I can talk and text with no worries.
And if you need more, our $30 unlimited talk, text, and web plan offers a free phone plus unlimited minutes, text, and web for just $30 a month. Our plans are the best value among major Lifeline programs. Each plan provides nationwide coverage and these calling features.
With Assurance, I can keep in touch at home or on the go.
You may qualify if you're on Medicaid, food stamps, or certain other public assistance programs. Call now to see if you qualify for the best calling plans from Assurance Wireless.
Call 1-800-833-8333 or visit AssuranceWireless.com. That's 1-800-833-8333. 1-800-833-8333. Call today.
When you hire a law firm for your injuries, hire a firm with a reputation for trying cases. You have only one day in court. Make it count. Peterson & Associates, protecting you.
From headlight to taillight and everything in between, Hyundai has heads turning. And backed by America's best warranty, it's no wonder Hyundai is #1 in customer loyalty. Make the holidays shine even brighter during Hyundai Holiday.
0% APR for 72 months on all 2013 Elantras. Visit buyhyundai.com.
Do you have an idea for an invention or new product? Brian and Alice Jagosh, the inventors of the halftime drill driver, did. They invented a power drill attachment that lets you drill, flip, and drive in seconds. InventHelp licensed their invention to a leading As Seen on TV company, and their invention is now selling in major retailers nationwide. Look for the InventHelp Caveman on the package. We are pleased that we were able to get this product reviewed and licensed by a company. Our clients made a financial gain with their invention, but this is just their individual success. Only a very small number of inventions are licensed and sold in stores. If you have an invention that you would like to try to patent and submit to companies for potential review and want free information that explains how InventHelp may be able to assist you, call now. InventHelp is America's largest inventor service company with sales offices in more than 50 cities nationwide. Call InventHelp today for free information.
For your free inventor's information, call 1-800-901-0316.
Just for kicks. 38 The Spot.
Right this minute, videos first.
It's a video that could break your heart.
But don't worry, because it'll put it all back together by the end.
It's the story of one little dog. See how it ends next, right this minute.
Watch tonight at 7 on 38 The Spot.
Thank you for watching us today on 38 The Spot. Thank you to Nick Leckie and Mark Bowrichter for stopping by the studio. And get a Nathan Giddy for buying breakfast. Hey! Gonna eat.
I'm going to eat that bacon.
No, you're not. I'm going to eat it first.
Is that grapefruit juice? I thought you said cranberry.
Well, I changed grapefruit juice because it sounded so delicious on this fine morning. Gentlemen, thank you so much for stopping by the studio. Up next, Gary Barnett to talk about Missouri. That's right.
Yeah.